Guess who's back? Back again. What's up?
Good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back to Lie to Yourself.
I don't have a bra on.
Y'all, Crystle was out here giving off a show. Lord,
Raising my
trying to get your
hand.
Britney.
Luckily, I caught it.
That's what you've known for so long. And for me, like a person like me who's been in a relationship for such a long time, even though I didn't realize how toxic it was until the end. So y'all are gonna think I'm super weird, okay? Fun fact, LadyJ is real weird about her food, okay? For my whole entire life, I was like, white sauce does not belong on spaghetti, and chicken definitely don't belong in those spaghetti. No, I grew up, for real, listen, I'm just text real quick, and I'm gonna just, hey, how you been? How's work?
I love food. I won't call myself a foodie, but Lady J, I am like an experienced girl, right?
Okay.
The plating matters to me, right? If I go somewhere,
good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Forgive me, this is the first time I've seen our intro. So kudos to you, Mr. Hennessy. Thank you so much. I super appreciate that. As you guys know, I am Miss Lady J. Thank y'all for joining me on another Friday evening for Lie to Yourself, Not Me, Real Talk with Miss Lady J. Thank you for coming back and hanging out with me again. I want to go ahead and take this moment to bring in I always do it the wrong way. Bring in my co-host, Miss Crystle. How you doing, lady?
Hey, Lady J. I saw the giggle. I was giggling too. The intro was hilarious.
Right?
Plating definitely matters.
It does. I really did. You saw me on that one. I was like, plating matters. Yes. I love it. Did you like it? I loved it.
I did. I loved it. I'm super excited.
I wasn't ready for that. That was like a gift. That was like a gift. Like I felt like it was a gift. Like it got unwrapped right in front of my face. Like I felt like it was like Christmas Day, and I got to like get a gift, and I didn't know I was getting one. That's what it felt like.
It's nice to see it all come together.
Right? Right? Yeah, a gift. Not a gift like in TikTok Live. Not like that. But good evening. Thank you for joining me, Miss Lady. How was your week?
I got a facial today.
Did you?
Which made an amazing week. Let me tell you, I'm about to get real hype about this facial, y'all. So I have this lady. She does this like circular motion on my forehead, and she's like moisturizing, washing, every step in the facial. And then she takes it down. I don't know if have you ever had a facial before, Lady J?
A what?
A facial. Have you ever had one before?
Not a real one, no.
So this chick, not some people do it, some people don't. You go to some places, and I recommend you get a facial. Lady J, we got to get you hooked up with a facial. I go every month. I have a membership. It's very important. I sometimes pick a facial over a massage because it's like 2 for 1. The place I go to, they do an upper body massage with a facial. Once a month. It's a reoccurring membership fee, but I'm going to keep it real. It's the one thing that I will expense every single month for myself because at the end of the day, A, my skin is glowing, and B, so much stress and tension. So today I did it on a Friday, and I'm super excited because I'm going into the weekend feeling like really good. We got to get you with some facials, Lady J. Once a month.
Maybe. Figure something out. I keep saying I'm going to get like a full body massage or something. Maybe I'll find somebody. But you know me, I'm real weird with this whole coronavirus thing. I'd be like, that's kind of close. Like,
so funny story is when during when we all first started, the one girl I used to go to would wear the gloves during the facial.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's nice, But I'm gonna keep it real. My new chick, she doesn't wear gloves, and I don't care because there is like, did you wash your hands? Did we clean everything down? Because if that's the case, then I'm cool. But you have to get it with the bare hands all over.
It's not even that, girl. I'm just like, I just need to make sure like you got a mask, because I'm high risk, so I'd be like a little bit worried.
I feel you.
I was worried to go to the eye doctor. I was like, I need a new prescription for these glasses, but you got to get right on that thing, and they'd be like blowing that stuff in your eyeballs and stuff. I was like, that's too close, but you'd be reading them numbers. I was through.
Now I'm curious, do you get wax during the quarantine, during the pandemic?
My eyebrows?
Do you
No,
waxing?
ma'am. No, ma'am. I have not. I have not had my eyebrows done
I
since
was
March
actually
of
talking about the oral
2020.
area, but yeah, we can talk about eyebrows.
Yeah. No. Oh, girl, I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared. I heard it's amazing. I ain't gonna lie. I heard it's amazing. I ain't ventured that far. I just manicure myself. But I ain't took that venture yet. But the eyebrows. Let's be real PG. Go eyebrows. Girl, I ain't had my eyebrows waxed since March of 2020.
It's because of the pandemic. You know,
I'm high risk. So for me, you being that close in my face is a fear for me. So, no, I don't. I haven't. I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
Figure out some recommendations for those who are like you and high risk and want to be safe. Like, how are we manicuring our eyebrows? Because I don't know what to do without my lady at the store, at the nail salon. I wouldn't know what to do. So
luckily, I don't have a lot of eyebrows, so it's like not real noticeable. Like people are never really that close into my face, so they don't see like the extra little hair. But I don't have a whole lot to work with anyway. So, but we digress. Let's move on.
How was your week, LadyJ?
Huh?
How was your week?
My week was, oh God, honestly, fun fact, my week was horrible. my week was horrible.
Well, lie to yourself, not to us. What's going on?
Well, no, I've been recovering from getting sick. Okay. I got a respiratory infection about almost 3 weeks ago now, I think I want to say. And I have been, no mess. Fun fact, Lady J has been laid up on the couch, in the bed, wherever she can lay down somewhere and just peacefully, like I've been on live like this, like on the couch, like, hey guys, how are you guys? Yeah, you guys are good? Yeah, it's amazing. It's not, yeah, I can like barely breathe when I stand up, but I'm fine. Everything's totally fine. Oh, yeah, it's been a fun week. Today is actually a good day though. Today's a good day. I've been doing very well today. Today I'm breathing a little better. I'm able to walk at more than like a negative 0.5 pace through the house, and I can maneuver. So yeah, so I'm doing good today. Today's a good day. So
good. Kudos.
I'm doing that. I'm doing good. When I get down and I'm sick, it's all bad. It's all bad. It's no good,
I was on a couple phone calls with you over the last couple of weeks, and you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling too good. The energy was definitely there, so I felt it. So I'm glad you're better.
Would you say again?
I said, I'm glad you're better. The energy was there that you weren't feeling good. So I'm glad that you're better.
Thank you, lady. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. So,
yeah, I'm just go ahead
Mr.
and just going to come on in and say hi to everybody. It's me, Mike Hennessy. Everybody knows who I am. Nobody knows who y'all are. Ain't no introduction. Ain't nobody say anything. You just
He's telling us we didn't tell people who we are.
We don't know who this is right here.
Oh,
we don't know.
My bad. I'm sorry. I got so caught up in the week that we were having that I forgot to find it. I forgot to let y'all know how to find us. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No. Honestly, I wasn't even going to say that. I just wanted to have some
personal.
fun.
My bad.
I just wanted to have some fun now. I just was going to have some fun. I was like, this moment getting deep. Let me go ahead and interrupt it real quick.
All right, I'm out. Mr. Hennessy. All right. Well, Miss Crystle, since Mr. Hennessy had to remind me, since I was so enthused in your
week. We're going to move along to that, but no. My name is Crystle Dominique. Lady J has so graciously invited me to come on as a co-host and co-star, and I'm super excited to be here, Lady J. Shout out to all the fans. You can find me on Instagram. My Thoughts Could Be a Blog, and I have great news, really great news. So lock in Instagram. My Thoughts Could Be a Blog, right? So that you can keep up with it. But after a certain conversation with Miss Lady J, who should probably be like what is it? Ayana, Save Your Life, or what's those people who like help you just figure everything out? I have a launch date for My Thoughts Could Be a Blog, the blog, which is going to be a very lucky number date, 2/2/2022. So on February 2nd, we will have the launch of My Thoughts Could Be a Blog. So stay tuned. More to come. But for now, follow me on Instagram and keep up to date.
Break it around. Yay! I'm so excited.
I'm excited as well. Excited as well.
That is so awesome.
I've decided to just like not just get away from being perfect. Like I can't be perfect all the time.
We can't.
No.
We can't. And we're our own worst critics. Like, really, if we really all think about it, we are our own worst critics. We pick out everything. Every time I put a cake out the door, every time I put cupcakes out the door, I'm like, God, I hope they, even though I know it's the same recipe, I know every time it goes out the same way, I'm still on edge. But I am so excited to hear that you're going to go ahead and launch. Oh, bring it
Hey, I gotta get it.
Yes.
All right, AJ,
I'm so excited. Yay. All right. So I guess now it's my turn to introduce myself, as if you guys didn't already know. I am Miss Lady J. Y'all know where y'all can find me. You know where my brain lives, where I live on TikTok. Lady J 1111. I have my business page on Instagram, which is _J's_decadent_delights. Then I have my regular Facebook business page, which is just J's Decadent Delights. My Instagram page, which is LadyMan2008, and one I'm not used to throwing out there, but my YouTube page is Lady J. Mr. Hennessy, you said you was gonna get that up there for me. That's okay. I'll give you a pass this time. Today you get the pass. But tonight I think we have a really good show tonight. I think we have some good conversation. Tonight we're gonna talk about, it's all good. It's all good. I still love you. Hearts to you. Tonight we're going to talk about when is a good time frame for you to become intimate with a person that you've been dating or dealing with. We also want to talk about when is it too soon to become intimate in a relationship, and can that ruin it? And then what I am more excited for is Miss Crystle has some quick tips for online dating. So I'm kind of interested. I'm gonna need to get my pen and my paper. I'm gonna need to take some notes because it's real new for me out here. I don't know how this works. So I'm ready. I got my booklet and I got my pen. This is my special pen. I'm ready to get in there and find out about it. So I'm waiting for that part of the segment. So let's get into it. Miss Crystle.
Yes.
In your opinion, when is a good time frame to become intimate with a person that you're dating? Like, do you have a time frame? Like, is there you got that 90-day policy? What was that movie? Was it Think Like a Man? What was it?
It was first the book, but yeah, Think Like a Man had every chick out there giving guys a 90-day policy and had every guy in the world mad at Steve Harvey. Hey, Diana. Welcome to the party.
Thanks for joining. So, do you have a 90-day policy, or is there kind of a guideline, a timeline that you have on that, or what?
Yeah, absolutely. So, absolutely, you got to have some standards to work around, right? Like you have to have something that keeps yourself structured, right?
Okay.
And that's why I support if a girl or guy has a 90-day rule. I love the 90-day rule because I do love the analogy. So every time we get a job, we have corporate America, right? That has been around since God knows how long, making business a very successful avenue for retaining, keeping, or making money off of those who work for them, right? Like it's a successful model, right? 90 days before I give you all the benefits, right? That makes you a full-time employee. That model works, right? So I support anyone who wants to come up with a 90-day rule. I will honestly say that although I believe in the structure, I don't necessarily have a 90-day rule for every guy that I meet, but I do support folks who want to go that route to give them something, right? Because that means you're leading up to, there's different things that you're going to require within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. That's going to lead, okay, now I'm ready. You've done this, you've done that. You've proven yourself, right? That's all I'm getting at. So for me, it's the energy for me. I'll be very, very honest. So I have slept with guys sooner than 90 days. But so I'm not going to say I have an exact day or time or time frame, but it depends on the person that I meet and depending on how I feel the energy is going towards something that is real, right? And for each situation, it's a case-by-case scenario that I would then decide what that time frame would be. Hopefully that makes sense. If it's 90 days or less, I don't know. But it's definitely no more than 90 though. I definitely got to give you some and get some like within the next couple months of dating because I got to figure it out. But you're in a structure somehow, some way.
Okay, so there is some sort of structure, and everything is case by case. There's no like one size fits all.
No. I just support the 90 days because that's what everybody's rocking with. That's a very common one. So I guess I'll say 90 days is cool. But yeah, depending on the person I'm with and who I met and how we're feeling, like you still have to meet certain things, right? To make me feel like, okay, he's proven himself to be someone that I want to go there with.
So right? I'm curious to know, like, if we can go that deep, what are some of those things that kind of like are like, okay, this could get it. No, that definitely cannot. You know what? Maybe. Like, I'm kind of curious. I'd like to pick your brain if you don't mind.
Woo! Because I want to talk, so I'm nervous here because I'll spread all the juices out there in the world. But
the juices.
No, not me. Like I'll talk, and I have to be careful because I'll say too much sometimes. But no, like
you good. You want a safe space.
It's categories, right? It's levels to this.
Okay.
So, and we've all been there. I'm not saying I'm here now, but we've all been there. So if I'm looking for F-boy, right?
Okay.
And that's what I'm looking for. And F-boy has to prove to me that he has some level of F-boy would have to prove that he has some level of like something that is going to feed my energy for the time being where I'm okay with doing that intimate act with you. But I feel as though like the shared energy between me and you is something that's still going to feed my soul, even though I'm not looking for commitment, right? That person might get it sooner, right, than someone I'm looking to build something with. However, I have to have some type of intellectual conversation where you're stimulating me. I mean, like mind fuck me, right? Yeah. Like if you're F-boy, you have to mind fuck me to actually fuck me. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can.
I guess it's too late, right? So for me, it's intellectual stimulation. Stimulation. I'm such a what you call sapiosexual that if we can like talk about books and stocks and you just start talking about the moon and stars and it's some real stuff, like I might be stimulated, and if that's what I'm looking for, maybe a couple 2-3 dates, like we might be getting it in. Now if it's long term, which I'm still looking for that now, I will honestly say the things that lead up to that would be intellectual stimulation, right?
Okay.
But also, have you proven that you could possibly love me more than I love you? I'm being very honest. I have to feel, if I'm dating someone for a long-term commitment, I have to feel that you possibly are more in tune with me than I love you, and I'm already stimulated by you, right?
Okay.
You have to have done something to make me feel like you're way more invested in me, because I feel like men that are not way more invested in the woman that they're pursuing than the woman is typically are going to move on from her. So I look for those things.
Okay. I think in the past, I think I haven't looked for the, like, you're way more into me than I am into you. I think that's where I've kind of messed up.
I have to be into you first, though. I want to say that the stimulation has to be there, but now it's like, oh, he's proving that, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he's proving himself, and that could be multiple things, but yeah, way more into me. Because guys, like, if they're not way more into the girl than she is him, and I'm sorry, this might be an old school way of thinking, but like, no, I don't think it's going to work. I think different stuff is going to happen. Cheating, leaving, I don't know. I'm looking for my guy who's awesome, but way more into me than I am into him. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't think that gets, like, kind of creepy, like stalkerish at some point? Like, if you're way more, like, okay, when you say way more into me, like, because I don't know, in this day and age, I don't know, from the stuff that I've seen lately online, if you're way more into me, it gets kind of creepy. It does. It gets, whoa, wait, you know what?
But that's because you're not stimulated. That's why I said step one is that I somehow, some way get stimulated by you. Like, am I into you? A guy who's way more into me and I'm not into him is probably a creepy guy, right? A guy that I'm into, that means he's done enough to where I'm like, I like his style, I like his flow. That means he's not creepy, right? He's doing stuff where I'm like, he fly. Okay, but he's also proven and showing and not afraid to, like, let me know he all about this and he all about us. And what we
Okay.
doing? I don't have to do the most. Like you doing the most? Like I'm sorry, I'm convinced that's the guy that I am moving forward with. Because all these other guys, you just gonna end up heartbroken, crying, puffy eyes, like trying to put some concealer. I'm sorry, I'm convinced.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Your turn, LadyJ. You gotta tell me.
Okay.
Some questions.
So I have never had like this like whole like, oh, you gotta have like this 90-day, 30-day, 60-day policy. I in the past have moved a lot quicker than I should have. Fun fact, shh, don't tell anybody. Shh, quiet, this between us. Lie to yourself, not me, okay? We stand on like Lady J's. Don't give me the eyes. So in the past, I have moved a lot quicker than I should have.
We all have girlfriend. We not lying to nobody. Go ahead.
No, we telling the truth. That's what we do. We tell the truth on here. We be transparent. So I have good time frame. Okay, so I have in the past moved quicker than I should have. Now I have learned that I should absolutely not do that. I will say that the longest amount of time that I have waited has been up to like a year of dealing with a person. Yes.
And he waited?
Yes. Huh?
And he waited?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he was way more into you than you were him. See, that's a good one. He's a keeper.
I don't know if that was the case. I really don't know if that was the case. I just know that I've learned that for me, I need to feel safe and secure with a person.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to like make sure, like you said, okay, you don't want to end up with like the puffy eyes and, you know, concealer. And now I'm trying to figure out how to put my life together. And girl, I let this man have it. And he just disappeared. I don't know where he at. I can't find him. You know, so I learned that I don't want to do that. And so up to a year, I did wait. It was worth the wait. Did things work out in the end? No, not so much. I don't know if it was like he was just more into me than I was into him. I think it was just two people who were mature enough to be like, okay, you know what? We're going to hold off and wait on some things. For me, there's not like a time frame or policy or anything. Right. It's more so like I have to feel comfortable and I have to feel safe. That's what I've learned in my journey, in my healing process, is that to be a better me, to be moving in a better realm for myself, I have to feel safe and I have to feel secure. And a lot of people think we say safe and secure, you mean like, oh, I don't want you to beat on me. No. Listen, I wasn't worried. I wasn't fearing for my life. I need to mentally, emotionally feel safe and secure. I need for you to make me feel safe in this space. I need for me to be able to have that. You need to touch my mind before you touch my body. I'm very big on that, what you said. Like, you have to touch my mind before you touch me. Yeah. Because if you can...
Yes.
Real.
I'm going to try that one. I like that word better. You have to touch my mind. I love it.
No, you do. Because like, think about it. When somebody really intellectually stimulates you.
Yes. And wait, we just can't curve past that like that's just normal, right? Like it happens all the time. That's why that's important, because remember how you asking for specifics, like whatever your mental driver is, it might be different than mine and the next person, right? But when you come across somebody that stimulates that
knows
doing so much the spiritual stuff. Like this is like some love and basketball stuff.
Like it's a whole nother level. Like when you could touch my mind and you haven't even like you sitting there talking and you like, oh.
Yo, let me tell you guys this. Can I tell a story?
It's story time.
It's not going to be a long one, but it was a mental stimulation moment. I can't. It was hey, everyone that just joined. It was a mental stimulation moment. Okay, I'm in Aruba, right? On a destination trip with a bunch of friends and a gentleman who was there. Like, it was a bunch of us there to go for this wedding, right?
Okay.
I I traveled to the island with a book. I don't know if you guys ever read it, The Alchemist. And it was on my to-do list to finish the book before the trip was over. This trip was designed like, I'm gonna go to this wedding, but this is a beach bum trip. I'm reading this book, you know what I mean? I talked to my bestie about it. We're like, we're not doing excursion. We just wanted to relax that entire week, right? So I brought the book. I'm like, I'm gonna finish this book. And I'm not thinking about a man. So I end up at the swim up board, right? Day 2 with one of the guys that were there, and we all kicking in the jacuzzi. We swim to the bar. You know, the energy is definitely there because the stars in Aruba is a little bit different than what I ever saw. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So we're chit-chatting, and I asked, this person has some body art that is of a symbol that looks like a different language, right? So I asked, and he says to me, oh, it means maktub. I read about it in this book, The Alchemist. It means maktub. It is written, right? He just goes and describes why he has the tat and how he read this book, The Alchemist, and it changed his life. Mind you, the book is in my bag. Like literally, like I'm planning on reading it when I'm being a beach bum. And like we sit there for like a whole hour and a half, like my darn fingers were like shriveling up for being in the water all day talking about this book, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind that two people with like minds could be together in that moment, talking about something that I was really on the same wavelength about. And he spoke about this story in a way that like I could really relate to, and I felt was like bigger than.
Yeah,
it was just a bigger conversation than what I have with the average guy. And I know it was around a book, and I know it was short and simple and small, but in that moment, I like
with everything.
He got some by the end of the week, but which you know is probably not the best decision, but it ended up being a good decision for me for like a couple of years, to be honest. So
good, but see,
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I was like,
but I think
like
that right there, like that conversation, that whole like all of it that just came together was like everything. Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, like, and it's not normal. That's not a normal thing. Like everybody doesn't come across moments like that. Everyone doesn't have like that like chemistry. Like, you know how they talk about that, right? Like that, like that chemistry that you just meet somebody and it's like you said, like all the stars are aligned, the moon is shining just right, like the sun sets just the way it's supposed to. Like everybody doesn't get that moment. So when you get that moment and you catch that, listen, I ain't mad at the end of the week, you know.
So is that okay though? See, I'm still single, right? So I'm questioning sometimes. I agree with you completely. When the moments come, they're far and few in between. You ride that wave because you don't get that blessed to have those type of love experiences. And I'm going to call it a love experience. The sapial sex be something different. Listen, the sapial sex be different. But is that okay? Like, is it okay to move with that energy?
I don't think like in a continuous time frame, not for anything that I think you want to be like, when you move into that space where you're like, I'm ready for something to settle down, to just move in moments like that. No, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like
you gotta move on.
You know, like, I mean, if you could find a person that fits you in that manner, right? Like if that's your piece and y'all mesh together like that, yeah. But like just in that moment of it, let me get that feeling. You know what? I mean, I think that would be amazing to have those feelings all the time with the person that you're with. I think that would be awesome. Now, like if you can find that on a level of like, this is everything all the time.
Right.
On a more, because you know nothing is like consistently in that manner, right? Let's be honest. Like no relationship that you're in is consistently amazing. It's never always rainbows and flowers and sunshine. Like you know, he come home, he done had a bad day, and you trying to figure out why you got an attitude. Like all I said was, "How was your day?" And you came in like I didn't just cook this whole meal for you, and like, you know what I'm saying? So like everybody has a bad day, right? He come home, he happy, but you know, I done been here with these kids and they getting on my nerves. So it can be. People change their minds within. Maybe. I mean, yeah, I think that it could be good. You don't think so?
I don't think fairy tales exist. I think we are accustomed to watching. I'm gonna use movies as an example. We're accustomed to watching a 2-hour movie, especially the ones that are fairy tales, right?
Mm-hmm.
That have led us to believe that when the fairy tale ones, right? Let's leave the Notebook as an example. Even if they died at the end, we're accustomed to watching this 2-hour movie that ends in a way where it's like love conquered all, right?
Yeah.
And then the movie ends. I think that kind of creates false reality that like that's life, like love conquers all, and then the movie ends. And I think that makes us believe that when we meet somebody that we love, and it might be the one that could be our life partner, or it could be one that we're just going to love in a moment. I think we're really out here believing that this fairy tale exists throughout the entire relationship, and hard relationships, challenging relationships, difficult moments mean that this isn't a good relationship. But go ahead.
Well, they had hard moments in that.
They did. Well, you know what? They
hard
did.
moments in it. Like if you think about it, like he left, he was writing letters all the time, and then she didn't get him, and then she got him, but she was mad because she was like, "I thought you left." Listen, I know the Notebook, okay?
You're right.
Notebook was a good movie. I love the Notebook. While you're playing, like I didn't like the end. The fact that they like died on the bed together, and that was just the end. I'm not gonna lie, and I was kind of like, once upon a time, I was like, "That's how we're gonna go out." It never was like a real thing, but it was like, you know, that would be like, wouldn't that be awesome to like go out with your boo, like in the bed, y'all holding hands together? Like, I thought that would be awesome. But I do think that a lot of times, people do try to set up relationships. I do. I think that people set up relationships to be this fairy tale, imaginatory thing. And I think that sucks, especially when you have children. Because, and this is completely off the topic, but when you have kids, you have to allow your children to know that fairy tales are not real. This is not Cinderella. This is not Beauty and the Beast. This is not Snow White. Like, life really actually happens. And when you're in relationship with people, things happen. You're not always happy. So I definitely understand and get that whole, hey, Brittany, I definitely get that whole thing of like, you know, it's not a fairy tale. It's not, you know, and people have to understand that. And that's why for mine, like with my kids, when I'm in a relationship, like they don't see us argue, knock down, argue, fighting. This is sniff. But they do know, oh, mom's not happy. Yup, we need, you know what, they having or that there's some kind of discussion that needs to be had. Because I don't want my children to think that everything is always sunshine and roses and peaches and cream and these rainbows, and there's never any bad moments, because then they grow up and they get into relationships, and when they have issues, they don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. They have no clue what to do, because they're like, my mom and dad, my mom and her boo or whoever, like they were always happy. They never had any issues. Like everything was always okay. So no, I agree that they do push these fairy tales and these extremes that are not true. And you do have to have a understanding that that's not what relationship is. Relationship is not always going to be happy. It's not always going to be fun. There's going to be times where it's bad and it's not okay. So yeah, I do get that. But
so can I run it back to that original question?
Go ahead, please do.
So with what, you know, we went through your conclusion there. I think we both agree that all relations aren't perfect. And with the whole 90-day rule, or whatever your rule is as far as how soon it is to have sex, could that mean that like there shouldn't really be any idea of what the perfect time is to have sex with somebody? Like, are we kind of like lying to ourselves when it comes to that?
So me, I don't think there should be. I think it's a good question. And I posed it to TikTok when I was on live a couple of times. I think we've done it 2 or 3 times. And a lot of people are like, why should you have a time frame? No. The question is not if you should. Like, I don't care if you do or don't, because for everyone it's different. What are you comfortable with? I don't think there has to be a set time frame on something. You can have an amazing chemistry with someone and they'd be like, let's go. What are you doing? You're taking too long. Or it could be like, hey, you know what? I need some extra time to get to know you. I need to make sure that I'm good with this. I don't particularly think that there should be a time frame on anything. Can get in the yams too soon. That's the next
I was
one.
going to ask though, because I know you're going to probably move on from this soon, but I was going to ask, kind of going with that. Can getting the yams too soon ruin it? I'm curious from you, Lady J. What was the longest relationship, time frame wise, that you ever had? And it's a good relationship after having sex quickly, one night standish, I don't know, under 30 days, right? What was the longest time frame? And what was the shortest time frame of a good relationship that you had from someone that you may wait?
Honestly, for me, ask again. What's the question again?
I'll do
So
the
I can
first
make
one.
sure.
All right. So what was the, or whether you want to describe what it was or even how many relationships, whatever, it can be whichever you choose. How long did the relationship, did your longest relationship last? I'm switching it up. How long did your longest relationship last with one of your like quickest sex partners? Like I'm talking about like one night stand.
13 years.
When did y'all have sex?
Like a month and a half or 2 in.
All right. And tell me about a time, an example of somebody you may wait. Maybe it didn't have to be 90 days, but whatever your time frame was, you may wait. How did that relationship end?
7.5 years.
Ah, so we won and one.
I didn't have a lot of relationships. Fun fact, Lady J has not been in a whole lot of relationships in life. She's been, honestly, Lady J's been locked down long. Sure. Well, thank you,
That
Mr.
says a lot about
Hennessy.
Lady J.
Thank you, Mr. Hennessy. No, really, I didn't end up in a lot of relationships. Just Tonio. I haven't been in a lot of relationships in life because I spent a lot of my time married as a woman, as a kid, as an adult. So a lot of my adult life was spent being in a marriage somewhere. And so I haven't had like a whole lot of relationships. And so for me, all the men now.
They like
yeah, so but I think I love that dynamic between the two of us because I've had yes, I've had that situation, and then you have yours. So now I'm going to pose the same question to you.
Yes.
So I'd like to know from you, what is the shortest amount of time? Like everything you just asked me, I'd like to know on your side because you probably have a way more interesting answer than I do.
No, I don't. So I don't talk like this now, but I spent a whole decade in a relationship, so I'm kind of over it now. And that's when I had a lot of my fun when I hit 30. But I actually had sex with early on someone I ended up being in like a 5-year relationship with, like back in the day, like, you know what I mean? Like had sex probably within a couple weeks of us dating. Like we were neighborhood friends, if you will. Those always happen quick. I'm talking like young bucks around the neighborhood, like we hanging out and boom, you invite me over. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna lie to myself. Inviting me over, hanging out in the basement because your mama gave you the upside. I'm from the city, so we got row homes. Hanging out in the basement playing video games because your mama gave you the upgraded, like redone basement. And you acting like you got your own pad. Anyway, so long story short, yeah, that was a very quick turnaround for me, and that ended up being like a very long relationship, about 5 years. And as far as making somebody wait, can I be honest?
Yes.
I've just gotten to that space in life because, like you, I was in relationships like that last 5 years, and then I was in a 3-year one, and then like they didn't work. And now I'm kind of like dating for the first time. If I could be honest, I'm actually dating for the first time and I'm holding out. And I can't say that it's a bad or good thing, but I'm holding out more than ever. And I'm evaluating and asking questions, which we'll talk about later with the online dating rules and regulations. And I'm actually shifting and moving on. If I'm not feeling the flow, you're not getting none of my time or my vagina. So I don't know. I can't, as far as the holding out piece of it, I don't have much answer to that because I'm still in that process of learning how to to hold out, not give that up, and see where we're going. And so far, most of them getting blocked within like 90 days. with no ass.
Listen, but they'll do that though. They kind of like they block themselves. If you ask me,
Absolutely.
they block themselves. You kind of be like, "Yep, nope, don't even need to keep it up there." Really, a word, Maryland, Pennsylvania.
But what? You know what? The Aruba Bay that I was mentioning, that was actually probably one of my fastest. Now that I think about it, that didn't go into a committed relationship. We both met at a time where he was like, I'm not interested in a relationship. I'm just looking for good energy, good vibes, right? And I'm not gonna lie, when I met him, I was like, oh, me too. I had just got out of a real tough situation. I told you I was moving to being like, I just want to be single. I just want to date. And we got it in like within a week, you know, on that trip. And that actually lingered for like a couple years of like boo thing. Once a month, I travel to see you, you travel to see me, but like it didn't go anywhere.
Okay. Oh, but you kind of like had them boo vibes a little bit slightly.
You know, when you good people's, right, Lady J? When you good energy, people don't want to leave you regardless of what the situation is. Facts. On God, as someone said.
Yeah, listen. Sometimes they don't. If you like, listen. It's like what is it when they be like on that leg? You be seeing that cartoon where they be like, you be like dragging people on your leg. You be like, get off, go somewhere. Yeah, when you got good vibes, people don't want to let go.
You don't want to let go.
It's a fact. It's a fact. So now, part two. Part two. Is it? Can it be like? Can you? If you move into being intimate with someone too soon, do you think that ruins a relationship?
I think we kind of nipped that one in the bud, right? Because I think we tightened that up. Even in our discussion, it's just like, does time really matter? I think it's all about moving too soon with somebody that you know was not the one, right? And I'll give you an example. The situation I just named. I knew that person wasn't the one, but I allowed the good vibes to lead me into intimacy. And the fact that the chemistry was that good, it lingered for a few years. And I knew that person wasn't the one when I met them, but I allowed the chemistry and the sex vibes and the things that kept us going. So I think you can get intimate with the wrong person too soon. But I think if if it's not the wrong person, then I don't think it matters. Does that make sense?
No. Think about it. What if you enter into, so let's say you find this dude, right? He's like perfect boo material, everything you've been kind of looking for. There's really not a whole lot, like you ain't got no whole bunch of like red flags, and y'all jump into it. You don't think that there's like certain things about being intimate with someone too soon can ruin a good thing? I think I get what you're saying as far as like, okay, we kind of talked about it and there shouldn't be a timeline, this, that, and the other. But do you think like because I mean, think about it. When you move into
you locked in,
that intimate space with somebody, because then, you kind of be like, okay, we done done some stuff.
I need my
so
glasses.
Like, that phone ring at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, you kind of be like,
oh, you mean as far as like getting attached too soon? Like it would cause that?
Like, does it ruin becoming attached too soon? Does it ruin like anything? Like whether you become attached too soon, whether it's like all of a sudden y'all start getting into arguments, whether, somebody start getting jealous or somebody start being like if you move into it, somebody now they start all of a sudden being nonchalant, like they stop texting as much, just whatever. Just do you think that it can ruin? Can it set
I don't think it can ruin.
a different pace?
A guy, and we're speaking for the ladies, right? Because we're women. But if the guys disagree, let us know. I feel like if a guy,
and Mike, you could pop in if you think it's different, since you're a guy and we're two gals.
Yeah, but I think from a lady's perspective, if I have sex too soon with somebody and they stop calling, I mean, I would assume that he probably was F-boy anyway. I don't really know. Like, I just feel like he F-boy and he was going to play you regardless. So you didn't ruin anything. You just probably made a bad call on somebody that was just looking to play you anyway. So I don't think you can ruin it. But yeah. So I read this book, Date Like a Spartan, right? I'm gonna break this. He talks about not having sex too soon because it clouds your mindset from the proper vetting process that you should be doing to see if somebody's a good dude or not. Because when you have sex too soon, typically, and this is from the perspective of somebody that likes the person, right? Not so much that you don't like them, but like if you're interested in somebody, he said this author suggests, now you need that time because you're not going to vet them the proper way if you have sex too soon because you're clouded. You're going to ignore stuff. You're not going to see red flags because now that intimacy is happening and you're not really like no longer on your P's and Q's. So that's a perspective that I heard. I can't say I agree or disagree, but like definitely having sex too soon could possibly keep you from continue to evaluate in a way where you should probably move along with somebody a certain way and you not know how or why because you're too caught up sexually. I have a best friend. She had an F-boy for like 9 months. He was just F-boy. 5 years in, she's still dealing with the F-boy that she can't leave alone, who's toxic as hell, but because she had sex too soon. And she fell in love like through the sexual experience. They have chemistry. 5 years in now, he's the most toxic thing. She says all the time. I don't even want to marry him, but I can't leave him alone. I'm in love. So I don't know. What do you think, Lady J?
I feel like yes, it can. Fun fact, true story. Story time.
Story time.
So once upon a time, I was messing with this guy, and we got intimate pretty quickly. And literally, this guy was like,
stalker.
I would like, I don't know if I want to say stalker, but like, I would like, we'd go over there, we do, whatever. I would get ready to leave to go to work in the morning. And like the particular job that I had, like during the summer, we would wear like different shirts. So like during the rest of the year, like I could go to work like this because I was a front office girl, whatever. So I could wear like this or like a nice top or whatever, some pants. And during the summer, this one particular time, they were like, okay, we're going to give you these shirts, these collared shirts to wear. And everybody in the office is wearing these collared shirts. When I tell you this man was like, where you going? On to work? What are you talking about? He was like, you don't normally wear that to work. Why are you wearing something like, and it had the logo of the business on the shirt. Like, it was like, what are you tripping off? Like, chill. Like, calm down. Like, literally, it was like,
so I don't know if you had sex with him too soon. You just might have gave him some good stuff. He just couldn't let go, lady. I'm just saying. I'm calling it out.
I don't know if it was too soon. I don't know if he felt like it was just that amazing. All I know is he was on one and was like, where you about to go? I'm going to work. You don't never wear that to work. Why you wearing something different? Yo, listen, do you not see the name of the company on the shirt? It's right there. Like, where else am I going in this collared cotton shirt? Like, really? So I think that sometimes, yes, it can, because I feel like everybody's supposed to be like being honest, right? You're being honest in these relationships, in these situationships that you're in, yada, yada. But I don't think everybody really be being honest. People say they are. People will tell you, oh, I'm not this caught up. I'm not that. I'm not this. I'm here. I'm there. And sometimes that's not really what's going on. Sometimes the way it's stalker. Don't worry, he didn't pop up at the job or anything.
Lies, all lies. I agree with you.
He didn't. He never popped up at the. Oh my But I think that, like, a lot of times people aren't always being honest with their true feelings. People say, oh, it's not that serious. Oh, I'm not really. I had another dude. One fact, third time. This other dude who was supposed to be just like, like, hey, we both have an understanding. We both know, okay? We both got the memo that this is not nothing serious.
Right.
This is just like, hey, it's a good time. All right. This man was talking about like some, like, can we get married? And like, whoa, wait, listen, that's not the intent, the situation.
Another stalker.
No, but the situation was literally supposed to be something else. But because people are not always being open
about what they're looking
and
for,
upfront about what they feel, I feel like, yes, it can absolutely ruin things. Because if you have one person who's going into it like this, and it's like, yo, you know what? It's just this, that, and the other. This is just fun. We just cool. But then you have another person who y'all on a whole nother level of feelings. Then yes, I think that it can absolutely ruin something. Because I'm thinking we have this type of relationship, right? I'm thinking that we cool, we just, that, and the other. But you on a whole nother level. So for me, I think that it can. Yeah. I think that it absolutely can, especially when you don't have people who are being honest about what their intent is in the relationship.
No, facts, Lady J. But, you know, the Scorpio and me come out in those scenarios. So I don't even, when you were talking, I'm like, you know what? I think I can relate. But when that happens, like, they get blocked. Like, because if we had to understand, I start getting real short. I've had this one guy that I was seeing intimately during my, like, I'm good phase, right? I'm not looking for anything. And it was definitely like a consistent, I like consistent intimacy. I'm not into one night stands. You might be F-boy and F-buddy, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to have F-buddy situation probably for like a whole decade. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be a minute. I prefer intimate situations. However, I had this one where now that you said that, it's like because we were regular, like he started like making assumptions like he could pop up at my house and like if I didn't answer my phone, like one time, 2 times, showed up at my door and I'm talking about I was just a neighbor. I didn't answer because you have to learn today. Like we are not in a situation. You have to learn. And then it's funny because I know this person, like we've been friends for a long time. And I eventually stopped with the intimacy because I felt like it was confusing things because we said what we're doing. We both are on the same page, but you're like really not being honest with yourself and you're not being honest with me. And you're putting me in a situation where now I feel like I have to be a bad guy. And that person always says like, I'm just mean. I make men feel small. He said that to me one day, and I'm like, I don't. You just totally are not respecting the boundaries that we set, and you're not being honest. I'm gonna keep it real. Listen, I'm not going to answer the door because you have to learn, and you're getting blocked. Even if it's just like, I might block for like a 2-week time period if you're a friend. Yeah. And like this is happening, you'll go on like silent block like for a little bit because I just won't respond to that because that's rude. I'm sorry. Is that me?
No, I mean, and I get it. Back then, it was like in those moments, we weren't on a block level, so
we weren't there yet.
Yeah, there was like no like blocking or whatever. It was just kind of like it was what it was. So it's like, oh, okay, you just like duck out in the town, like oh God, I'm at the mall. You hope they don't see that you're there, type deal. Yeah, so it was many moons ago. And so that's kind of how that worked out. But I can understand that. But again, when you have people who are not being honest, they're not being genuine, they're not being real in their emotion. And to me, I don't know. Just from what I'm seeing, people say a lot of stuff, but I don't feel like they're really being, because nobody wants to get hurt, right? So it's like, and nobody, like, I don't know, Scorpio gang. I don't know a whole lot of guys who want to be like, from what party? Me at the altar, white dress, babies. Hello, Mr. November. Thanks for popping in. I know I like Crystle for a reason. Sheesh. Bruh. No wearing white dresses no more. LJ, doing all the time. I'm done with y'all. Y'all gonna stop talking about me. But I think that, I don't know. From what I'm seeing, a lot of times people aren't really being honest about their feelings nowadays. I think people are so used to and so worried about being like hurt or misled or like shot down. But everybody talking about like, this is the time to be real. I'm 100. I'm this. I'm that. It is what you see, but it don't really be that. So I don't know. Y'all got the clingy.
Lady J.
Yes.
Is it because, and I want to throw this out there, and I don't know if we can do a deep dive another time, but it's because men, again, speaking for women, because they're women. If a man wants to disagree, that's fine. But from my perspective, the men who are honest, it's because they're scared of being vulnerable. They're super afraid of being, my theory, right? Crystle theory, being vulnerable. They're afraid of, like you said, getting their feelings hurt. But like that whole vulnerability aspect, I find that happens a lot where it's just like, I'm not going to tell you from the rip that I'm feeling. I'm going to act like I'm just cool and I'm kicking it. So if you come off to me like that, then I'm cool and I'm kicking it too. That's how I feel. Anyway.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think anybody likes the feeling of being vulnerable. You do?
Yes, I'm pouring it. Look, don't let this Scorpio shell fool you. I'm vulnerable when I'm meeting someone that I like, and if we're at a point where intimacy is on the table and dating is on the table, I'm very vulnerable. I'm open. I'm expressive of my emotions. If someone's coming at me a certain way, then I'm like, oh, okay. But I evaluate from the rip what I'm getting from you, and then I move accordingly. And I find that some of these men out here, like you said, aren't being honest. So when I start moving accordingly, I become this mean Scorpio. But that's just me.
No, I don't think that you're being a mean Scorpio. I think that is understandable. I think that's how people. What? I know of people who are that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you do, and I get that because that's kind of how I move. And I'm not a Scorpio, but I move accordingly. Like I'm a watch. Let me see what you got going on. What you doing? Oh, you said this. Oh, you said that. Now I'm gonna be honest. I don't like being vulnerable because I don't. Fun fact: LadyJ doesn't like feeling stupid. Okay, she don't like to be made to look stupid or feel that feeling of being stupid. Okay, so I feel like when I'm vulnerable and I pour out and I give to you, but you ain't giving the same thing back, or I feel like you're not, and I get some weird feeling. Ooh, I crawl back in. She crawls back in. She crawls back into that shell. She hides. She hides because it's like I don't want that. So I'm not one to. I don't like that vulnerable feeling. I have to really trust and feel safe and comfortable with you for you to see that really vulnerable, soft side of me. Otherwise, you kind of get like something else. Oh, Mr. Hennessy done popped in.
We got a visitor.
I'm thinking because I like what y'all saying. Y'all know I'm gonna like what y'all saying. But let me see. I think Crystle, both of y'all have great points behind it. When I think for men to be more vulnerable is where you kind of get more respect from the women and that you're with, because they can trust you more of you letting go of whatever you got inside of you than they would if you had things inside of you. Because a lot of things you keep inside of you, that's when the shit start. That's when you want to start yelling and getting mad and frustrated very easy because you're not willing to let some of that stuff out. So like I'm not nowhere in disagreement. I'm actually adding to it. I really think that men have a problem with being vulnerable because we taught to be hard and strong and all this other stuff. Like, well, no shit. We always are going to be a certain thing, but there's strategies of how you go about your vulnerability. If you're vulnerable to your lady, what are you fearing? Like, that's the person you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with, if that's the choice of the woman that's in your life. So yeah, be vulnerable to your lady. Like, that don't mean you need to go to every single person like, you know what, man, I'm going to tell you about what happened to my day today. My cat died and I'm so hurt by it. Can I just cry on your arms? Like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, but it's okay to talk to your lady about stuff. If you choose to put stuff out in the world, like, or, that's your choice. But if you choose to be a certain way with your lady, the cooch should be a lot better.
I agree with what Mike said, but I do think there's a group of men that are walking out here without vulnerability in the beginning process of dating, in the approach process, where it makes it hard for a woman to give you room and space and opportunity to be vulnerable, because our door comes up when we feel like if you're not trying to pursue me, if you're not trying to be committed to me, eventually, someday, somehow, if you're not serious about me, then I feel and LadyJ, please tap in. But I feel like women kind of like have their radar up. If I can recognize that immediately, then now wall is up, right? Because there's too many games out here.
Yeah.
And I think women not seeing, you don't have to spill the beans to me, right? You don't got to tell me your whole life story. But I mean, in the dating approach, sometimes men are too hard in what they're looking for, and they're unwilling to show vulnerability in what I'm looking for, right? Out of fear of, I gotta be cool, dude. You know what I mean? I can't get my feelings hurt, and I can't tell her I'm into relationships. You know, I'm a player guy. You know, like, I just feel like that's what happens.
So you go ahead,
agree.
because we on the same page with if you looked at that BMT business thing.
I agree. With both of y'all. I think that from what I've learned and from what I've dealt with, a lot of times, as Mike said, a lot of men don't like to be vulnerable because that's what they've been taught. You're not supposed to be vulnerable. You're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be a provider. You're not supposed to, men aren't supposed to cry. Men aren't supposed to show feelings and emotions. And I've dealt with a lot of men who, even married men, who have said that they don't go home and tell their wives what they've gone through the day because they're not supposed to give that to their spouses. They're supposed to hold on to that because they're not supposed to bring extra to their spouse and their wife, because that's for them to carry and that's for them to deal with. And for me, the person that I am, I don't believe in it. I feel like, as Mike said, like, if that's your lady, if that's the person that you are supposed to, want to spend the rest of your life with, that's the person that you trust. That's the person that you, really find, that's my person. That's the person for me. I feel like I want to make a safe space for that person that I'm with, so that you can feel like you can be vulnerable with me. And I'm not going to sit up in here and be like, oh, you a punk. Oh, you supposed to be strong. You supposed to carry the family, this, that, and the other. No. What happened? How was your day?
Right.
I need to let me help you, because for me, I should be your safe space and you should be my safe space. Right. That's just me in relationship.
Facts.
But I do feel like there are a lot of men who do feel like it is hard to be vulnerable. I do feel like there are a lot of men who feel like that's not what they're supposed to do. That's what a woman is supposed to do. A woman is supposed to feel vulnerable. She's supposed to look for that safe space. She's looking for that person to keep her comfortable and feel safe, as opposed to a man feeling like, you know what, hey, I can be your safe space as well. So I get what you're both saying, but I definitely do agree that I would say that I feel like it is harder for men to feel vulnerable than it is women. I wish that it wasn't that way. And that's an uphill battle to fight. That's an uphill battle to fight when you really are trying to be with a person who finds it hard to let that go, and kind of chip away at that wall.
Right. Okay. So I'm because of this, y'all gotta go. Like, y'all gotta do y'all thing. I want to say this, Crystle, I agree with you when you were saying the very first part, but I can kind of add to it the reason why. Oh, she has joined. Hey, Jennifer Smith. So the reason why a lot of guys don't do it in the beginning, because like I actually started his comment, BMT is my star comment of the day, with can't just give vulnerability to anyone. And that's very, very true.
On the first date?
Hell no. You gotta let somebody, you gotta trust that person is it, based off of what you said. You gotta trust that that's the person. But my reasons is always different from everybody else's reasons, of course. So your reasons, everybody. My reasonings for certain things is that, like when it comes to that vulnerability, is who can take your vulnerability, because some women are taught that a man is supposed to be this way. If he shows vulnerability, he's weak. That shit happens. Remember, I had told y'all about something that happened with my ex family. One of her family members called me weak because of my situation. That was me being vulnerable, and she took that time to call me weak. Why? Because she's used to what she's used to how she was raised for her standard of men. You know what I mean? All are supposed to be a certain way. So understood. Now let's take men not being vulnerable, for instance, thinking that, you're just going to be considered a bitch or whatever the case is, or, or how to teach you. The one thing I know for sure is that men don't teach myself. Okay, I don't know what that means, bro. Give us a little
Thank
bit
you,
more
Mika.
talking about, brother. Welcome to the show.
Thanks
So
for joining, Jamaica.
right. Oh, you know what it is? Okay.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
he's one of my TikTok friends.
Hey,
Got you. What's going on? All right, so I'm trying to create a little bit of a scenario. So if I teach you half of the truth, you don't know the full truth. You know what I mean? If I teach you half of the truth, if I say, hey, be vigilant, what did I tell you? I just told you to be vigilant, right? I gave you a tiny bit of description of being vigilant. Stand trial, do this, do that. But they never say what to actually do within being vigilant or being this or being that. Because these are all things that I would teach, a particular man about stuff. But me teaching vigilance is teaching your self-worth, teaching everything that matters to you, teaching you how to carry emotions with both sex, not just dealing with a man and not just dealing with a woman, but actually teach you the right way of how to do the things. You know what I mean? Where you can be emotional when it's time to be emotional, but be more stern in your beliefs of you, but not taking away from your emotions. You know what I mean? Like that's something that people tend to do. They tend to make a person like a brick wall. Like, yo, just stay tough like this fucking wall. Don't let nobody knock you down. Don't let nothing knock you down. But sometimes things knock you down. People dying knocks you down. People there's certain things happen in life that make that happen. So if I'm gonna teach somebody, that sounds weird to like offer somebody a slice of pizza, but then take all the pepperonis off and say this is gonna kill you. But how do you know? Like, how do you know what's gonna do to this person? I'm saying that to say, like, you taking away from people and making them a certain way, and they don't know other aspects of themselves or other aspects of something because they've been taught to hide from it or get it away from them. Like, they don't know that this is a good thing. You know what I mean? They don't know that stuff. They don't know that,
but I'm curious, Mike. Can I just ask though? So, what the long or age old question? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Right. This is not completely directly related to the question, but when you think about that, it's like you don't know which one came first. And if we keep battling of like when I'm gonna like be vulnerable, when am I gonna heal? Am I just gonna keep saying like I'm not vulnerable because no one taught me to be vulnerable? When it comes to first meeting people, you don't have to spread your whole heart out to someone. I do understand that balance is necessary, but I think there's a huge opportunity for us to like think about what we're saying here. The reason why we're not this is because of this. Well, at what point do we give opportunity to allow someone to accept your vulnerability, offer healing, be someone that you can recognize and learn like, oh, it's not a dangerous space. And I think what I was pointing out is, and this is hypothetical, I'm not asking for an answer specifically, but I think what I was pointing out earlier is when I'm meeting some men in reference to Lady J's example, right? Like the ones who like, they get caught up real quick after they're getting the yams because they was lying to themselves about what the feelings was. We were talking about that, right? So I feel like sometimes like men's approach is to be just hard in this dating process. Again, this has nothing to do with you completely breaking down to me, but the approach sometimes is to like be hard and not be honest that I'm looking for love. Not be honest that I would maybe if you're the right one, maybe I like am like we can be this or be that. Instead, it's like not even being honest about those things, and you're putting up walls where now women are putting up walls. So it's like, where are we going?
That's a big ass battle. And then now what makes it look bad with what you're saying is that now that happens, it's like what I do is what I do. You can't do what I do. If I put up the wall, you don't put up the wall because now I got something that's when the judgments and shit start. That's when it's like, oh, y'all women, y'all got emotional problems. Y'all got this. And it's a reflection that's happening right now. And you know why people will say that somebody's emotional is because they would feel that way. A lot of the time they will feel think about it. What is an insult? It's a projection of what you feeling for yourself. It is literally something that you feeling within you that you thought in your mind to say to that person. Like you can literally take it and say, oh man, she got emotional. And it's easy to say that because you recognize emotion, right? You recognize what it would feel like to you, and you're saying, oh, they're doing what's in my mind. Even though that could be the complete opposite. You could be having a situation where you're passionate in what you're talking about. Like there's a difference. Like you could be passionate about something that can get confused for emotions. Like Lady J, let's say, for instance, if somebody pissed you off, that's a level of you being angry now. That's emotion. That's a different type of, that's the emotion side, right? But then now, let's say somebody says something that was off track, and now you're correcting them, but you're correcting them in a more aggressive way. Your voice is a little higher. They will still treat that same thing as emotional.
Mhm.
They don't. Some people don't know the difference between the two, and that's what I'm to answer your question, Crystal. Is that people don't know the difference between the two. They don't know how to be vulnerable because they can't tell. Because vulnerable to them is them looking at you and saying, "Well, you always vulnerable, so I can't do what you do." Because if I do what you do, then that means I'm like a woman, and it's like,
I think sometimes there's that, but then I think sometimes people really don't even realize that they're not. And that's the thing. I don't know. And maybe I'm just naive
men,
or whatnot, but I really
most
feel like
men,
a lot of times there are people who don't even realize that they have issues with vulnerability. There are people who realize
most men, LadyJ,
um
most men are definitely what's the name? They already stay on your topic. They are already what you're saying right now. I would say at least 80% of the men in this world are scared to do emotional, to anything that's related to a woman because they will feel like they're gay or that, oh, that's this. Believe me, I hear it enough where I work at. I hear it enough in certain areas where it's like, oh man, you like if somebody eat a hot dog. Think about this: if somebody eats a hot dog, what do they say? They eating a glizzy. Oh, it's like eating a penis. So it's like everything is associated with something that's related to a woman or something that's gay. Now it's funny as hell. I think when people talk about glizzies and say that, I think the joke is funny. I don't know why it just sounds funny to me, but I know like if I really, really looked at it, they're associating almost everything that can be seen as if you eat a churro, if you eat anything that's about this long, guess what? Oh man, you eating a penis now. You're eating it like it's like that. That's why I say you'll never get a man being vulnerable because if he's anything vulnerable, it's all associated in that same big ass circle of they think they're going to be like judged or gay or another man is going to eat them alive because he did something that might remind him of in his mind what a woman would do. You ever hear one say about when people argue and they say, "Oh, y'all acting like females right now"? That's a primary example. As soon as somebody get into a debate or argument, y'all sound like females. Y'all sound like this, and it's like, oh man.
Well, that's a problem. Lady J, what was you gonna say?
I mean, I just feel like I don't. It's horrible.
Hell no.
I don't know. You know me. I'm very open along the spectrum of the idea that sometimes people really don't. You all good. You all good, Aaron. Sometimes people really don't realize that they have an issue with being vulnerable. Some people don't realize that they have an issue with being loved. Sometimes people just don't realize that, hey, you know what? It's okay that this can be a safe space. And so I hear what Mike is saying, and Mike is a guy. So, I mean, Mike would probably know better than I when it comes to being in those types of situations and what it is. But I think that sometimes people don't realize that they have an issue with being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that there's a lot of men who are like, you know what, we're taught to not be this way, this, that, and the other. But sometimes people really don't realize, like, you know, you have an issue with being vulnerable, right? You have an issue with letting somebody love you. You have an issue with just letting someone just treat you the way you need to be treated. So I feel like sometimes there's people who just don't realize and know.
Should be back.
So I just feel like sometimes people don't get it. Sometimes people don't know. But I do understand what you're saying about how it's embedded upon men and how like society says, like, you know what, oh, because I've seen the memes of like, you know, or the TikToks where you can't eat the banana, right? You got to break the banana off, right? Because if you do, and I have heard that, you know, oh, you being a bitch, you acting like a girl, you acting like a woman, you all sensitive, this, and this. I have heard that. And I think that sucks though, because like I said, for me, I'm gonna make you feel comfortable either way it goes, but you have to have somebody who's willing to drop those walls and allow you to make them feel comfortable and feel safe in that space. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
No, you're good. You're 100% right. So, I mean, that's what I said. The perspective is what matters because this is the collaboration and learning it all. Anything else, Crystal? Because, I want to make sure that,
I think
we got to get these tips from Crystal. That's what I'm
Oh,
ready
no.
for these tips.
I got a quick question. I want you to get to your tips because I actually pulled that up. But I had a question that I wrote in here. I want to know, just real quick, answer this question for me. I'm not answering it.
Time where y'all wanted it, but had to hold back.
Yeah. Difficult question, right?
All right. So the question is, when was the last time we wanted sex and we had to hold back? Lady J.
No, I'm talking about when I say I'm making it difficult now that I'm here. I'm talking about that boy was like, oh, I gotta have him, but you can't do it. You can't do it. He might be doing the right things, kissing the right places, touching the right things. You doing the right things. He ready to go. Y'all ready to go, and then you have to fall back. If it never happened, then it never happened. But
I'm sure it's happened. I'm just trying to remember. I'm gonna let you take this one, Crystal. I need to think.
I'm leaving now.
I had to think.
Oh, of course you're leaving now.
Where you go? Oh, they ain't gonna do all that talking. He ain't gonna drive out.
He said he wasn't answering. He said he's leaving now.
Okay, so I shared the story earlier for those who are just joining about how about a gentleman that I met. Chemistry was lit, and it was like a 7-day trip in Aruba, and it was like one of the fastest relationships I had sexually, right? Like,
okay.
And I ended up dealing with that person ongoing for some time, but it was just like, here and there. We weren't committed or nothing like that. I traveled to see you, you traveled to see me. Well, I was hitting a point where emotions were really starting to like change for me.
Okay. And
it was becoming harder to continue this, like, we're just kicking that thing after a couple years of sleeping with somebody that you have a lot of chemistry with. It was a lot. So I hung out with this person one night after saying that I wasn't going to sleep with him. We're just friends. That's all we're doing. Not stranded, but like somewhere where I had to spend a night with him. And I did not do it. He was playing all the right songs and like give me all the looks. And he was even like, no, I understand. We ain't got to do nothing. I'm going to sleep on this side. Matter of fact, I'm going to go on the couch bed. I was doing all the right stuff. And I was saying no, but yes, to be honest. Like, I just was saying no, but I really wanted it so bad. But I was good that night. I didn't do anything at all. And I slept with my clothes on, though. Fully clothed.
I believe it.
And I'll share this because I'm not going to lie to myself. This is a strategy to the ladies out there. When I know I'm going to be around somebody that I could possibly sleep with and I don't want to, I plan to not wax because I'm so self-conscious because I don't like to get intimate without waxing. If I know, I'll either wear like, and I don't do this often, or if you're wax, just wear the granny panties, right? But don't wax. If you need to wax with sex, like don't wax. Don't play yourself. And for me, that works where it's just like, and that night, that's what kept me. I didn't wax that week. And I was like, woofing. I'm just like, I ain't doing it. I want to do it, but I don't want him to see that. So I didn't do it. That's my story.
Okay. Person that I waited for like a year.
Okay.
When I tell you, the chemistry was like off the chain. Like, all you got to say is 2 words, and I'm like, it's time for a shower. I ain't gonna shower. Well, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So, like, literally, when I tell you the chemistry was off the chain with this person, like, all you got to say is like a couple of words, and I'm like ready to go. We had been in a couple of instances when it was like, okay, you know what? And for me, I waited because I wanted to make sure that I felt safe and I felt secure. So I had a couple of encounters with that person. I didn't do the whole wax thing. I didn't do the like make sure she was clean. She was clean though. She was clean. She's always clean. Okay. But that's clean. Just me. It's a habit. It's just how I am. But yes, there were many situations with that one particular person because the chemistry was just like off the chain, like busting out the roof. And it was a couple times where I almost said yes. I almost said, yeah, listen, I had to fight off had to fight them off, had to fight off myself, had to get my life together. But that would be my story multiple times over with that one particular person, because the chemistry was like just out of this world. I had never known nothing like that. So for me, that was my moment.
Tip to the ladies if they were in that scenario. What kept you? What kept you from doing it though?
Literally for me, just that. Don't know the issues. Wait, what? Most people don't. I don't know what you said. Smart. Most people don't know they have issues until they are confronted about it. I would agree. They don't. And a lot of times you can confront a person about their issues. Still not wet. A lot of people don't deal with issues because they're not confronted about it. But a lot of times you can confront someone about their issues and they still will act like it's not a problem. To the ladies in that moment, don't put yourself in that situation. That's what I would say. If you know for a fact that there is someone who is like really can touch you in that manner and put you in that moment, don't do it, because it's a hard fight. And it's not worth it, because it's like you're fighting off something too strongly that you really don't want to fight, but you fighting it. And so you just you set yourself up. You setting yourself up for danger and mess up. So but I'm ready before we have to go to get into Crystle got some Crystle got some quick tips
for this combo.
She got some quick tips for online dating.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So we're gonna pivot right quick. We're gonna talk about online dating. So drop in the chat if you're single and you out here in these streets trying to figure it out. Let me know so I know who I'm talking to in the audience. But Crystle's quick tips for online dating. Let's get it, y'all. We ready? All right. So full disclaimer. These tips will not guarantee you a husband or a wife. Let's keep it real, because I ain't made it there. Maybe we'll do a part 2 when I get to that point. But what these tips will do is guarantee that you are going to avoid fuckboys or fuck girls, F-boys or F-girls, right? That's what it's focused. We're going to avoid that, right? We're going to avoid times of wasting, right?
Okay.
And you're going to date more of the caliber of person that you're looking for.
Okay.
Full disclaimer. Marriage not guaranteed, so don't sue me if you don't get married after these tips, okay? Part 2 coming once that happens for me. Are you ready? Number 1. Let's start small. Pick a real dating site. So all y'all out there saying y'all date online, but you only respond to people who are in your DMs, you're not dating online. You're just allowing lazy people to holler at you. So the more that you do that, the more you're going to run into people that you either don't like, F-boys or F-girls, or someone who's not your caliber person. That's a very, LadyJ, I don't think you're that type of chick, but I think that's a very important one. Don't say you're online dating because you keep responding to people in your Instagram DMs.
Okay.
You're not online dating, huh? Okay, number 1. Number 2, once you set up a respectable site, there's a lot out there, right? You have is it okay if I share something? I mean, we're not promoting no one.
No. Well, I think it's okay. It's okay, Mike, if we share the site.
Okay with that? Because they should pay you some money if I say this right now. But you have your hinges of the world. You have your Facebook dating, right? Even that's a little funny for me, but a lot of folks tend to like it, right? You have your Black people meet old school. You probably meet a few guys with some Kangos and like top hats, but it's okay. You have your Match.com. You know what I mean? You Google it, find out which one works for you and figure it out, right? But once you sign up for that site, okay? Tip number 2, the photo is very important. To the fellas listening, fellas, I need to see photos more than just you laying in the bed with your shirt off, standing in the mirror with your shirt off, showing me your V-line. If you work out and you have a nice body, that's really, really nice. But remember, some of us have moved on from F-boys. We don't care about that, right? For the ladies, and this is feedback that I've actually received from folks after asking questions. For the ladies, every picture cannot be a filtered picture. He needs to know what you really, really look like, okay? So we need a good headshot. Now, if it's a photo shoot, if it's one of your favorite filters that you have on, What's one of those apps out there? Snapchat, because you love this filter. It's good for your skin and your complexion, and it highlights, accentuates all your best features. Use it. Post it. Do one. Okay? The second, let it be your everyday shot. I call it my ugly shot. Now, I don't have many ugly shots because I don't think I'm an ugly girl. However, I have at least one, maybe two ugly shots, right? They're the shots that maybe they haven't made it to profile pic phase, but they're in my book. I took it. I liked it. Maybe someone else took it of me. And it's just like an okay shot that I don't mind being in a lookbook, right? Do you get what I'm saying, Lady J? Like, it maybe shows a
yeah, I know that picture. I know that picture.
Perfect, but I look good, right?
Yeah.
Post that one, because what you don't want to happen is you show up on a date and he's not impressed. So if you post the ugly shot, every time he's gonna be like, wow, you're even more beautiful in person. Ugly shot, post it. Okay, you need a full body pic. This is for the ladies and the men. Full body pic. Yes.
Oh God.
Now, we can go for hours on the quick tips around full body pic, but girls, please, more than just your booty. Like, I think the men are kind of over it, or if he's not, he's only going to be looking at your booty and looking forward to that. But have a nice full body pic, right? And
wait, what about the ladies who have no hump rump?
And more than likely, you're not just showing booty shots. It's okay. He's going to want you for more. And if you have breasts, accentuate whatever features you have. Lady J, you have a nice upper torso, good boobies. You know, show that off. Don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already have the ugly shot there. Now show them some more, right? And last but not least, about the photos, and we're going to move to the next tips. How to post a photo that shows about who you are, right? Like, maybe you travel, right? Maybe you're in business. Maybe you want to show the suit and tie. It is so horrible to see, like, photos, and it's like in the bed, in the bathroom, eating a plate. Don't use plastic plates in your photos, please. Anyway, you get what I'm saying? Like, who are you out in this world, so I can imagine who I can be with you, right? Moving on from the photos, okay? Next, create a schedule for how you're going to move along and how you're going to cut them off. Does that make sense? You following? You want me to elaborate a little bit more?
Yes.
All right, cool. So for me, 1 to 3 days. If you have not impressed me in text conversation, you are not getting my number. I'm blocking you and removing you. So that's my schedule, right? So 1 to 3 days of talking, conversing through text. If it's good and you've, what's the word? Stimulated that mind, then we'll exchange phone numbers, right? Between 1 and 3 days, we will exchange phone numbers, okay? Within 3 to 7 days, I would say we should be video chatting at this point, right? If he's not video chatting you, honey, he's probably married. So you need to cut him off. If he's not willing to video chat, if she's not willing to video chat, she probably has too many filters on her photo and she doesn't look the same. So cut her off. Between the first 3 to 7 days, we're moving to a video chat if we haven't already moved to a date. Does that make sense? No.
Okay.
Don't let them love bomb you. So give it some time before you get on that first date. Have some conversation. But if a guy wants to rush you along, or a girl to have a date immediately, between that first week, maybe by the end of that first week, I'll give him a date, right? But we have to have some conversation first because I have to know who you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Between 7 to 10 days, we've already gone on a date, right? And we're more than likely planning our second date. By the end of 2 weeks, if you haven't gotten to a second date, he's either broke, married, or not interested. And we can say the same for the girl as well, okay? Second date by the end of your second week. Sounds like a plan? Lady J? Jay, what's going on? I'm gonna move it to tip 4. What's going on?
Go ahead. No, moving to tip 4. I just think I'm in trouble.
Now, tip number 4. This is going to be the last and final tip, but it's loaded. Recognize the red flags and the green flags and move accordingly. Red flags, we've been through a lot of them, right? Are they unwilling to meet you, right? Are they trying to love bomb you immediately and get? I had a guy after date 1 call me his girlfriend. No, you're not my girlfriend. I mean, I'm not your girlfriend, right?
That's my life on TikTok, though.
Be wary of love bombing immediately. They're trying to manipulate you and rush you into a relationship because they're hiding something else, okay? So block immediately. So beware of red flag number 1 would be, what did I say?
Love bombing?
Beware of love bombing, but also if they're not willing to meet you in the beginning as well. We'll put those together, right? There's something not quite there, right? Green flags. They've touched the mind. They've engaged in conversation. They've also read something on your profile and used it in conversation without you bringing it up. Green flags, right?
Look at the green flag.
They're willing to move at your pace. This is green flags. They're willing to move at your pace. They're not trying to love bomb by rushing you, but they're also showing urgency and interest where we're moving along into, can I get your number? How does this sound like for a first date? How does this sound like for a second date? They're working at your pace, but they're not rushing you. Green freaking flag. Enjoy it, relax. And you know what? Whenever you get to engagement, marriage, and kids, let me know that Crystle's quick tips for online dating helped you out.
Y'all let her know, because I don't think I'm nowhere close to none of them green flags. So y'all let Crystle know that her tips have helped y'all, okay? Because Lady J she's not there. I don't even know what half those sites that she was talking about are. So, yeah. Yes, y'all give Crystle a hand because I'm gonna need to talk to Crystle off screen to try to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Okay.
And I will close that out too by saying, if you follow those tips, this is all fun and games, but the photo, even writing a good profile and also vetting certain people a certain way while online, you'll find that you end up being attracted by, or different people who are attracted to you end up being closer to the caliber of person that you're looking for, I love going out on dates and a guy's like, wow, your picture's way more beautiful than I thought. You're way more beautiful in person. That tip's a really good one, like using the ugly photo along with the good photos. It works every time. And I think you're a goddess when you meet them. And showing the experience Photoshop that I talked about, like who you are in life, tends to attract guys who have similar interests with you. So when you're meeting and engaging, I actually have to block less. So, long story short.
Crystle's quick tips, y'all. Crystle's quick tips, y'all. Y'all better what you call it. Y'all better pay it. Listen, did y'all take notes? I was listening.
Are we gonna get you signed up for a site soon?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for sign up for a site. Them online sites scare me. Listen, TikTok has made me already scared because I was like, TikTok is not supposed to be a dating app, but somehow TikTok is a dating app. Girl, I got 12 TikTok boyfriends. I got a couple of TikTok husbands. I've been a couple of people's, could you be my TikTok baby mama? Yeah.
I'm funny about DMs because they're typically folks who live other lives. I feel like on these social media sites, folks live other lives, and then they come on these sites and they'll engage you, still living that other life, but it's not real. And for you, you might not think it's real, but there are some women I heard that are responding to these TikTok and Instagram DMs, and don't get me wrong, you have a few diamond in the roughs. I mean, I heard somewhere that Nipsey Hussle hollered at Lauren London in a DM. So listen, every now and again, you have your one-offs, but these are one-offs. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, them DMs, they be wild. I had a guy who came into the live and he was so friendly and he was so nice in the live, and he found me on Instagram. Mm-hmm. He was a whole nother person in the DM, and I was like, yeah, I've just decided not to respond. At this point, I'm gonna just not respond. I'm gonna just keep it moving. But our time is up. Quick tip, don't take her to a high-end restaurant on the first date. The idea is to do it big with coffee date first.
That's my part too, Chris, because I like that one. And I have a backup. I have a second one to add to that one. Don't spend all your money on the first date, but show her something nice. And you know what, ladies? The second date, you make the recommendation. Because if he didn't show you what he likes on the second date, tell him exactly how you like it. Tell him exactly how you want it. But allow him to show his interest on the first date. You'll get your chance on the second one. So I like that tip, Chris. But we're going to do a part 2 to this, Lady J.
Ooh, all right. Well, I'm going to have my book ready with my pen so I can figure some stuff out. But thank y'all again for joining us on another Friday night. I appreciate y'all taking y'all time to spend with us on a Friday night. Give her a pack of cookies and chips. Oh, heck no. Make some juicy juice. Mike, you're fired. Mike Shaw, you're fired. Get out. Miss Crystle, how can we find you?
Yes, follow me on Instagram. My thoughts could be a blog. It is spelled how it sounds. My thoughts could be a blog. I know it's long, but rock with me, baby. The brand is coming. We're launching the site on 2/2/2022. More to come for now. Just follow me on Instagram, and then you'll get the updates. Hey.
Bring it around town. She about to launch it, yo. I can't wait. I need a personal invite for when you launch that. Thank you very much. Hey. I'm gonna need a personal invite.
The pressure's on now.
Y'all know me. I am LadyJ. Y'all know where y'all can find me all the time. I'm probably gonna get on my TikTok after I get off of here. LadyJ 1111 on TikTok because TikTok lives in my brain. My business page for Instagram is _J's_Decadent_Delights. The Facebook business page is just J's Decadent Delights. My Instagram page is LadyMan2008, and my YouTube page is just LadyJ. I thank y'all again for joining us this evening. Please make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow all things Blurred Approved Entertainment. Follow my friend. We waiting for me? Okay, I'm gonna be there. They waiting, Lady J. Thanks everybody for joining. Sure. I love them because they hang with me. They rock with me. I appreciate my TikTok folks. Y'all are so supportive. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining us again. Thank you for always the wrong way. Thank you for hanging with me and my friend Crystle. We really appreciate y'all. We had a good time with y'all tonight. Thank y'all, and we will see y'all next Friday at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for joining. Real Talk with Lady J. Bye.